Today we are going to see some problems related to distance, time and speed. We'll just see two problems as a warm-up of the previous video, and then we'll go on to the new problems for this. Okay. First is Linda left home and drove for 2 hours. She stopped for lunch, then drove for another 3 hours at a rate of 10 miles per hour, higher than the rate before she had lunch. If the total distance Linda traveled is 230 miles, what was the rate before lunch? So she's making a travel before and after lunch, right? Okay, and just we will mention what are the three different values given. She drove for 2 hours and then she drove for 3 hours with a speed of 10 miles higher than the rate before she had. So this is S, means this is S plus 10, and the total distance traveled is 230 miles. Okay, so we have to find the rate before lunch. We have to find the S. Okay, so it's simple. If we add the two distances, that is the 230, right? So how to find the distance of this and this? Okay, so we can write like d1's distance, that is before lunch, it is 2s, right? So the total distance is equal to d1, that is before lunch, and d2, right? So d1 we can find it as s into t, that is 2s, plus d2 is 3 times s plus 10, right, which is equivalent to 230. So it is like we have to solve the equation to find the value of s, which is nothing but 40. Okay, the units we have to find out what is given. It is miles per hour. Speed is given as miles per hour, so the distance we have to mention it as miles. Okay, here sorry, here also speed, so miles per hour. Okay, by car John traveled from city A to B in 3 hours at a rate that was 20 miles per hour, higher than John's. Peter traveled the same distance in 2 hours. Find the distance between the two cities. Okay, there is two people involved, John and Peter. We'll find what are the values available. That John traveled in 3 hours. Okay, he took 3 hours time, and at a rate of 20 miles per hour, higher than John's. Peter traveled the same distance. Okay, so that means John has traveled some speed and Peter has traveled 20 miles more speed than the John. Okay, and Peter traveled the same distance in 2 hours. Okay, so what is distance between the two cities? So we have to find the distance between the cities. So as per the instruction is also given the same distance, so this is going to be the same distance. Okay, so we have two equations now. D is equal to 3, yes, and we have another equation. D is equal to 2 times s plus 20, right? It's very clear that the distance is going to be same, then these two equations are going to be same. So 3s is equal to 2s plus 40. So s is equal to 40. Okay, so what is asked is the distance between the places, right? So d we want. So d is equal to s times t, which is equal to 40 times 3, which is equal to 120 miles. I'm using miles because the speed is given in miles per hour. Okay. Now we'll move on to the next problem. Bill took a trip to see a friend. His friend lives 225 miles away. He drove in town at an average of 30 miles per hour. Then he drove on the interstate to an average of 70 miles per hour. The trip took 3.5 hours total. How far did Bill drive on the interstate? So he is traveling through the town and also to the interstate highway. We just try to find the values what is given. So if his friend lives 225 miles away, that means the total distance is 225. He drove in a town at an average of 30 miles per hour, and then the interstate is 70 miles per hour. The total time taken is 3.5. Okay, so we have to find how far did he drive and the interstate. So we have to find this distance, right? So we keep this as D. So what is the distance traveled in town? It is the total minus the distance traveled in the interstate. Okay, the total time is 3.5 hours. Suppose if we keep this as a T, the time taken to he traveled in the interstate, then the distance he traveled, the time taken in the roads of town will be 3.5 minus T, right? So now we have to find this, right, the distance. Okay, we will write the expressions, right? D is equal to 70T. Okay, another expression we are going to write is 225 minus D, which is equal to 30 times 3.5 T. Okay, what we can do is we can substitute the values of this T into here, okay, which will make 225 minus 70 T, which is equal to 105 T. Okay, sorry, there is a minus here, minus 30 T. Okay, and when we solve this, we get T is equal to 3. Okay, what we need to find is the distance traveled in the interstate. So distance is equal to 70 times T, so which is equal to 70 times 3, which is 210 miles. Okay, from the given value we have to try to find what is the needed quantities. Okay, so we have the last problem, which is going to be of the same variety, so that we can understand more well. Okay, Maxwell is taking a trip to an island that is 275 miles away. He will drive the first part of the trip, then board a boat that will take him to the island. Maxwell drives at an average speed of 60 miles per hour. The boat travels at a speed of 40 miles per hour. If the whole trip takes him 5 hours, how many miles long is the boat trip? So we are just going to substitute the values. He is traveling, he's first driving, and then he's having a boat. So let's try to substitute the values. The total distance is 275. He is going at a speed of 60 miles while he's driving, and on the boat 40 miles per hour. Whole trip is going to take 5 hours. So we have to find how many miles long is the boat trip. So this we are going to keep it as d, and this is 275 minus d. So the time, it's going to be t. So here is going to be 5 minus t. So we'll get two equations now. D equals 40t. Another equation is 275 minus d equals 60 into 5 minus t. Okay, and you are going to substitute the value here. So changing the equation. Like this, right? When you solve it, you will get the value of t, which is equivalent to 1.25. So this value, it's going to be 40 times 1.25, which is equal to 50 miles. Hope you are able to follow the steps. If you have any doubts, please ask in the comment section. Thank you for watching.